О, походу я начал себя слышать. Шикарно. Я все настроил. Почему, не знаю, сломался первый профиль. Сейчас меня вроде бы прекрасно слышно. Отодвину микро, чтобы не дышать в камеру. Всем здравствуйте. Ой, отодвину микро, чтобы не дышать в камеру. Отодвину микро, чтобы не дышать в микро. Дурак, заговорился. Секунду. Хочу чуть-чуть сделать, чтобы мне было удобнее. Вот так. Музыку оставлю включенной. Пусть будет. Все, поехали. Сегодня мы с вами окунаемся в мир Дикого Запада, в игру Juarez Gunslinger. Начать игру. Я буду все зачитывать. Обычный уровень сложности поставим, чтобы особо не напрягаться. Надеюсь, вам там не сильно кричит. Если сильно, то давайте я чуть-чуть понижу. Так, секунду. Я все пропустил. Куда ты заходишь?
Don't I know you, sir?
Don't believe so. I haven't been here in many years. Name's Silas Greaves.
Silas Greaves? The bounty hunter?
Used to be.
What are you doing here in Abilene?
Just passing through. Got a little business to take care of.
Well, sir, it would be an honor if you would allow me to buy you a beer.
Hell, son, it would be my honor to drink it.
I'm Molly. Howdy.
I'm Dwight. That's Jack and Steve. Ben's behind the bar. Oh, I bet you got some great stories.
A couple.
Any of them true?
Jack, be nice.
A few.
What about your shootout with Henry Plummer's gang in Bannock, Montana? Is that where you started as a bounty hunter? That's what it says in this here dime novel.
Don't believe everything you read in them dime novels, boy. First man I hunted was back when I was riding with Billy the Kid.
You knew Billy the Kid?
Damn right. That's strong.
Collected the 10 stars off any crooked lawmen who crossed it.
It was a war, boy. The Lincoln County War. And Billy promised his regulators would take the life of every bastard who helped bushwhack John Tunstall.
Kid had a big chip on his shoulder and a hair-trigger temper. Made him dangerous as hell.
Поехали. Загрузка. Однажды в Стинкинг-Спрингс. Сайлас Гривс прибыл в Абилен в 1910 году, там что-то получил свою защиту, открыв навык доспехи крестоносца.
It was about 30 years ago.
Около 30 лет назад.
Billy was hiding out in an abandoned farm near Stinking Springs.
Японский бог. Ну-ка.
I threw in with the kid because the man I had sworn vengeance on was riding with Billy's enemies. But before I tell you why...
Еще тише надо сделать. Думаю, музыку вам... Ну, она и так тихо, в принципе, хай так будет.
I was heading back to the hideout when suddenly I had this funny feeling.
Можно чуть-чуть меньше.
Funny, haha.
О.
No, Steve. The other kind of funny.
Все. Шикарно. Я все пропустил, то что они читали. Графику игры прикольно. Для 2013 года это очень хороший графон. 2013 я бы сказал то, что это шикарный графон.
I knew those two
Знаешь,
morons
что
would
тебя
never
была
let me
низ, что
through.
меня пропустят.
I had
У
no
меня не было
choice.
выбора. Вы зарабатываете опыт, убивая врагов. Опыт необходим для перехода на новый уровень и получения дополнительных способностей.
Was it Pat Garrett's posse?
Oh yeah. I heard the shots and I knew I had to move fast.
Револьверные патроны.
Garrett and his army of deputies had surrounded the entire homestead. I decided to help Billy and the boys out of it. So that's just what I did.
В спину не очень.
As the governor of New Mexico was paying for the kid's apprehension, Garrett was able to hire every gun hand in Lincoln County.
Но в спину не очень дамажит, я так понимаю. Что там такое? Чем-то похоже на Bullet Storm. Кто знает, тот поймет меня. Кстати, не постримить будет эту игру.
I knew that going through that front door meant putting my butt in a shooting gallery, so I decided to get sneaky.
Субтитры, ребятушки, пожалуйста, читайте сами, потому что... Ну, простите, ребят. Отчаянный герой стала. Чё тут? По револьверу. Каждый.
Garrett's men were running around like a bunch of chickens with their heads cut off.
О, это шикарный звук. Шмалять, это вообще балдеж полный.
Still, one of them reached the water tower. Not a bad idea. It would be a turkey shoot from up there.
О, боже, какая-то шикарная игра. Я
Luckily, these shooters Garrett hired weren't
на
as
одном
sharp as
сохранении.
A lot of them were saddle
4 раза
tramps or
выйти.
sod busters or drunken drifters looking to make a few bucks.
Типа она охрененная. Мне прям чувствуется ковбойская частица. Ковбойская.
Truth be told, things weren't much better behind
Ковбойская вот
house.
это тут.
I cut their numbers in half,
Ковбойская вот
but that
это.
just made the ones that were left twice as mad.
Вот этот. Как правильно сказать?
They made up for their lack of skill with a seemingly endless supply of ammo.
Даже забыл это слово.
It was a bit of a slog, but I finally fought my way around the back of the
Салам,
house.
Агор. Салам алейкум. Ты, возможно, не знаю. Я играл. Классная игрушка. Где-то секреты должны быть, наверное, но похуй.
And like that, I was inside, none the worse for wear. I passed Dirty Dave, and upstairs I found Billy and Charlie Bolger.
Собственно. Нет, я только начал стрим. Стрим идет 11 минут. одинокий стрелок 21 выстрел 21 году. Чертовски умен.
Billy looked at me and said,
Billy.
"About time, amigo.
Как раз
Grab a
вовремя
gun and get to the window."
как, ну.
Wait, so you were friends with Billy the Kid?
Yeah, sort of. Anyway, we were surrounded by dozens of deputized shooters who wanted to do us harm. I'm telling you, Garrett's men were dropping like flies, but they just kept on coming.
Неплохо так. Нормально, тренировкаемо.
They're catching us in a crossfire, shouted Billy. Get to the other side.
Ай. Яху. Новый уровень. Так, ну это для дробовиков. Что это? О. Что-то я... Подожди, что за шутер? Извиняюсь. Я не люблю тему войны. Не хочу в него играть.
I don't know how many of those cocksuckers I personally put down, but it was pretty clear, even to Billy, that maybe discretion was the better part of valor.
What's that mean?
It means that it was time to cut and run. They got a Gatling, Billy shouted. Get the horses and bring them round back. I'll draw their attention. He directed that order at me, and I thought, why the hell do I have to do it? But I went anyway. Dumbass that I was back then.
Those poor sons of bitches are done!
Many would have fled in my place. But I had that false sense of invincibility that many young men have. Like Jack here.
What are you saying, old man?
Jack, he's just Josh.
Yeah, he better be.
Mr. Greaves, please continue.
Please, call me Silas now. Now, where was I?
You were heading for the barn.
Making my way past the castle of fallen foes.
Yeah.
Sounds like Garrett hired a whole regiment of hired guns.
Yeah, and just when I thought I was done with them, more of these helpless bastards would pop up. Finally, I had the stables within my reach. After the fight, maybe we could treat ourselves to some fried chicken.
Ничего личного, курочки, просто за вас дают опыт. А опыт мне нужен. Бессмертный петух. Я вот думаю, надо на стриме поиграть еще в Bulletstorm и в... как он называется? Shadow Warrior. Первый или второй, без разницы.
I read that you went toe-to-toe with him, sir. That backstabbing bastard with that tacked-on tin star.
Да или, по-моему, сейчас не будет, надо отмотать назад. Гордый, хорош с собой, неуклюже. Пэт Гаррет. Катсцены в 30 FPS обожаю.
You read that in a dime novel?
It said he showed no fear as he took your measure with eyes like a rattlesnake.
Чтобы следить за противником. Это изи.
And that you killed him in a fair fight.
Is that what that penny dreadful says?
Все, теперь я вспомнил, как это
That
делается.
ain't what I meant when I said I met Pat Garrett. So let me start again. I finally reached those damn stables.
Ну что, устроим ковбойские танцы. Ни по кому не попал, зато весело.
Stepped inside, and
На, по-моему.
last thing I heard was Garrett's voice. That's not Billy.
And go on. How did it end?
And, boy, that was just the beginning.
Нормас. Любимая награда в голову. Давайте поставим на высокую. Хоть бы там опыта больше давали,
So what happened?
что не
Did Garrett
просто так
arrest
на
you?
высокую гонять.
Yeah, after I came to, bastard had clocked me with his Colt.
Эпизод.
And the kid surrendered?
Кит сдался.
When he realized there was
Я
no
так
getting
понял,
out
что
of there
остался
alive,
шанс выйти
So
живым.
they locked you up in Lincoln?
Так вас упрятали
Indeed
там
they
куда-то,
did.
да?
sentenced me to hang right along with the kid.
Посадили меня в тюрьму в гнили. Горсть патронов. Называется эпизод данный. Здесь нам дадут пострелять с motherfucker дробовика.
It's important to know that I was only riding with Billy so I could find the bastard I was after. He was with John Kinney's gang, and they were sworn enemies of Billy's regulators.
Why were you after him?
А мне,
I owed that son of a bitch a bullet for what he had done to me and mine. Instead, all I got for myself was a goddamn death sentence. Luckily, it was right around then that I heard Billy make his move. He shot Jim Bell and a few other guards as he made his getaway. Later, they wrote that some lady friend planted a pistol for him in the privy. What the papers didn't say is that Billy helped me escape too.
По-моему, подброс через окно ключ. Да.
My first order of business was finding a firearm. Luckily, I located Deputy Bob Ollinger's mean-ass shotgun.
Very cool. 10-го калибра, громко как динамит. Может разорвать человека пополам. Балдеж.
I saw Billy through the window, and he yelled that I should take to the rooftops to make my escape. So I did.
Anybody see Billy? Son of a bitch shot Jim Hide forever.
Hell yeah. That scatter gun was like a double-barreled howitzer. It could blow a man clear off his feet. You hardly had to aim the damn thing. Guards were everywhere looking for it.
Anybody see him?
I had to jump from roof to roof like a damn alley cat. I followed the planks where I could, but some of that wood was slippery as hell. The whole town was up in arms. And suddenly, I was a fugitive. So that bastard you were after, what did he do? He did me and my family a grievous harm. But I knew if I was ever going to find him, I would need to get my ever-loving ass out of there. I tried to be stealthy and sneak my way past. But hell, if they weren't all waiting for me.
Ничего прикольного нет.
Apparently, some of them thought I was Billy. See, me and the kid shared a certain similarity in build and coloring. I was just glad I had Deputy Bob's mean-ass shotgun.
А где? Ах, не мать. Перезаряжусь за твое здоровье, так сказать.
So much lead was whizzing by my head, it was like everyone in Lincoln wanted to put me in the ground. I knew I needed to find a horse. Though I never did have a great fondness for those four-legged grass eaters.
О, шикарно.
Smelly, sweaty, ungrateful beasts. We prize them too high.
Крови очень красиво. Про эту кровь мне прям нравится. Мне прям нравится. Я балдею.
But where was the kid while you were busy getting shot at?
Gone. And that's when it occurred to me why Billy sent me here. So I could be a hapless decoy and draw attention while he snuck out of town. I knew if I made it out of there in one piece, no one would put a price on my head.
Because everybody in Lincoln would be dead?
No, because they all thought I was Billy, and all that blame would fall on him. Meanwhile, Deputy Bob Ollinger was organizing a posse to put me down. He was already a mean son of a bitch, but he was doubly pissed that I stole his mean-ass shotgun.
Вот это я нашел, так нашел. Внезапно секретик. Вау. Тут есть мой этот? Нет, обидно. Так хотя бы больше шанс, что я попаду по кому-нибудь. попадаю, но не фатально.
Finally, I found what I was looking for. The stables on the edge of town.
Быстрая перезарядка винтовки. Улучшить револьвер с узором. Давай.
I guess Billy saved your ass, taking out Bob Ollinger the way he did.
Billy didn't kill Bob.
Well, sure he did. Dispatched him right after he shot Deputy Bell.
No, sir. Because Bob came right up behind me, angry as hell that Billy had lit out. Hello, Bob. I said, I think you better let me go. And he says, I don't think so, boy. Not with my shotgun. So we stood there in the middle of the street, eyeball to eyeball. He intended to kill me, and I knew I had no choice but to defend myself.
Японский бог. Убили меня. Убили. А как так? Что за тупость, убили друг друга. А как так? Типа, камон, тоже не правдеподобно. Ебать, как это тяжко.
I killed him in a fair fight. Everybody saw I had no damn choice. Well, Lincoln got a mite depopulated that day.
Точно 65%.
That Garrett gunned down
В
Billy 3.
принципе, неплохо.
So where'd you go after Lincoln?
Это нормально.
Mexico. Until I realized nobody was looking for me. I ended up taking a job at the Rurales.
The Mexican Rurales?
I was hired to help them track down the cowboys.
Эпизод 2. Ковбой.
The most vicious outlaw gang in Cochise County? Curly Bill Brocious? Johnny Ringo?
Led by old man Clanton himself.
They must have paid you a pretty penny to take them hombres on.
Not really. But truth be told, I had my own reasons for going after those boys.
Окей. Пуля для старика. Называется данная глава.
So was the bastard you were after now riding with the cowboys?
Roscoe Bob Ryan was his name.
Oh.
But no, this time it was a different bastard I was after. The aforementioned Mr. Ringo. I came upon them robbing a stagecoach, which wasn't surprising, being they were such murderous thieves and bastards. The bandits wore red scarves, so I knew they worked for the old man.
Over there!
I did my best to help those poor passengers. Moments later, the attackers were dead, and I checked the stagecoach to see how many passengers were still breathing. None.
Весело.
It was then I wondered if the rocks weren't hiding more bandits. Was that all of them? Or did I just hit the rear guard? I quickly got my answer. They attacked from on high like Apaches often did. They would appear in great numbers from above and rain down lead on their hapless enemies' heads, making use of the high ground or whatever else. Yep, the Apaches always appeared out of nowhere, and there never seemed to be an end to it.
Hold on. Were you attacked by Apaches? What happened to the cowboys?
Did I say they were Apaches? I said Clanton's cowboys attacked me Apache style. I was in a pitched battle, but I was holding my own against an overwhelming enemy force. See, at the time, I was still pretty green, but often blunder into regrettable situations.
Такое дело.
But I just kept shooting at anything I could see up in those damn rocks.
Сколько там?
I didn't see Ringo. I knew it. He and Roscoe Bob had done me a dreadful wrong, and I was determined to have my revenge. But to get to Ringo, I knew I'd have to fight my way past these other assholes first. Unfortunately, I was running out of ammo.
Я дебил, прямо на пулю наставился. Дурачок. Молодой специалист. Сука. Думаю, что все так просто. Это вам не шутки шутить. Легендарное оружие открыто.
Unfortunately, I was running out of ammo. Another perfect example of my relative inexperience as a hunter of men. I immediately knew that a tactical retreat was called for, as my vengeful fury was much less impressive without the bullets to back it up.
Куда отступать-то?
Finally, they managed to corner me. Trapped as I was, the odds of my survival seemed pretty slim.
Блять. Куда отступать-то? А, выстоите.
Luckily, serendipity was on my side as I suddenly spotted a way out of my predicament. I ran ahead as if the devil himself was after me. Bullets were whizzing by my ears, but I wasn't about to roll over and die. I just kept running like there was no tomorrow. Because there wouldn't be if Clanton and his men caught up with me. As I was scurrying around those caves, I thought, what was I thinking? Going up against a gang like this. I just kept running, not knowing where the hell I was going. And that's when something miraculous happened. Like manna from heaven, I found the desiccated remains of what looked like an Apache warrior. The old weapon next to him supplied me with some much-needed ammunition. Bat Masterson once told me it was more important to be lucky than good, and he would know.
О, да.
And imagine my surprise when I found a fistful of dynamite to go along with that ammo.
4, чтобы выбрать динамит.
That stroke of good fortune evened the odds and bolstered my confidence. It was time to turn the tables. Time for the prey to become the prey. Time for the hunted to become the hunter. time. All right, Jesus, we get it. They were right where you wanted them. That's right, Jack. I was done running. The old man's boys were not expecting that. No, sir. I came at them like a wild man. It was finally time for that old man to pay for his sins.
Чертовски подлый старик Клантон. По-моему, насколько я помню, его можно убить просто так.
I'm coming for you. A little stealth might have made more sense, to be perfectly honest. Because that old fool had a Gatling gun and enough bullets to last him till kingdom come. But I knew I could not let that deter me. Not if I was to find and kill Ringo. I needed to get that old man off that gun.
Надо ждать чертовой перезарядки.
Most everyone thought it was the Juarez who had come up against him in Guadalupe Canyon, but it was just me.
Ах ты же сранец.
What a piece of crap! Wait, goddamn book! Apparently, one of the cowboys made it out of there alive and told Ike and Billy Clanton that it wasn't a Mexican who took their father's life that day. They just assumed it was one of the Earps, and that little misunderstanding eventually led to that legendary gunfight at the OK Corral.
О, да. Свидетельств подлинности вообще не найдено ни одного. Мне там уровень еще недоступен.
A few weeks after that dust up at the OK Corral, I was still after Johnny Ringo. I had tracked him and the cowboys to their hideout at a sawmill, and they were loaded for bear.
So, what exactly did Johnny Ringo do to piss you off?
Well, him and that other bastard.
Roscoe Bob Bryant?
Yep. They both deserve to die, and I promise I'll tell you why.
Earp's coming!
Get ready, boys. First, I need to tell you about the Cowboys' new boss, Curly Bill Brocious. Curly Bill took charge of the Cowboys upon the old man's demise, and after that gunfight at the OK Corral, the planters wanted revenge. So they murdered Morgan Earp and grievously wounded his older brother, Virgil. Wyatt and Doc went on what became known as the Vendetta Ride, hunting those outlaws down. So when I showed up, that's where they thought I was.
Сука. Ты, блядь, издеваешься?
There were killers around every corner, all wearing red bandanas. That's how the Cowboys identified each other. And I was beginning to wish I had one myself. But I wasn't about to let Ringo walk away unscathed. And that's what drove me forward.
They say that Ringo was infernally fast.
Hardly saw anyone faster, boy. Certainly not Wyatt Earp.
Просто
That man was all hat and no cap.
Earth wasn't much of a match for him, but Doc Holliday might have taken it.
That Lunger should have kept his nose out of it. They never charged anyone for the murder of Morgan Earth.
Бля. Пришибло своей же деревяшкой. Вот это балдеж, понимаю. Один. Второй. Третий. Еще минут два. Я вижу то, что я уже могу прокачать время. Но я это пока делать не буду.
But everybody knew that Curly shot him in the back. That was common knowledge.
Excuse me, sir. I have a question.
What's that, Dwight?
After old man Clanton died, why didn't his son take over the Cowboys?
Because Ike Clanton was dumber than a box of rocks and a yellow belly to boot.
Пульки вставляет, конечно, со скоростью света. Да. Не увидел.
Now, where was I?
Taking down the entire cowboy gang single-handed.
Indeed I was, Jack. Though it wasn't easy, as those boys had good cover.
Как он такой бомбок не делает. Я что-то сломал. Сейчас
There were carts everywhere, piles of lumber, and God knows what else for people to hide behind. That really was one hell of a sawmill. Quite an impressive operation.
And where was Curly Bill? Did you see him?
I'm about to get to that, Ben. Patience. I'm painting a picture here. There was this beautiful waterfall and a crystal clear stream that led to a verdant valley that was truly...
Consider your picture painted. What happened next?
Well, finally the bastards that were still alive made a last stand. Curly Bill, Johnny Ringo, and his compadres took off into the lumber yard, and I followed after.
А, так мне все-таки сюда. Хлопнет. Зарядит. Курчавый Билл.
Are you saying they ran? Cowardice was not in Ringo nor Curly Bill's nature.
Самая обычная перестрелка.
No, sir. I never said they were running scared. They just wanted me out in the open.
Просто его убить.
Brocious gave me no choice but to take his life. But Ringo was nowhere to be found.
I knew you didn't kill Ringo, because he was found dead in a different location altogether.
To this day, his killer is still unknown.
Indeed. Took me a few months before I finally tracked his ass to West Turkey Creek Canyon.
Как же это странно, ребят, но я хочу спать. Так что последняя миссия, которая будет, и я пройду. Следующий, кто станет у руля и схватит пулю. Джонни Ринго.
That's incredible, sir. I always thought that Doc Holliday was the one that killed him.
Есть такое дело.
Sorry I had to ruin the legend for you, boy. But the legend ain't always true.
2820 очков, тем не менее, нам дали.
Doc Holliday had nothing to do with the death of Johnny
Точность
Ringo.
72% честно убит. Что крайне важно.
I was paid a healthy bounty for Ringo and Curly
самом
Bill,
деле нет, но-
and realized there was real money to be made. That's why I went after Henry Plummer.
Now, wasn't he the sheriff who augmented his income by shaking down miners and robbing gold shipments?
That's the one.
Oh, yeah, I remember him. He ran that gang of thieving outlaws called the Innocents.
So it's true that you went toe-to-toe with him?
Indeed I did, son. Indeed I did.
Великолепная одиночка глава. Точнее, 3-й эпизод. Но сначала нужно вкачать навыки.
I knew I needed resources if I was going to track down Roscoe
Доступно 2
Bob
очка.
Bryant.
Тут разные пистолеты. Золотая винтовка. Скорость прицеливания увеличится на 30%. По брошенному динамиту. Ладно, давайте. Быстрая перезарядка, уж так и быть.
Hunting Plummer looked like a good way to get rich quick. As the local vigilantes exposed him as the leader of the bandits and put a generous price on his head.
Найдите вход в шахту.
Plummer rallied his gang to plunder one last gold mine before making their escape, and that's where I thought I'd find him.
It makes me nervous standing so close to all these goddamn barrels of gunpowder.
Why would you be nervous? No one has.
My late father pointed out to me more than once. God made men, but Samuel Colt made people.
Есть. Есть такое дело. Куча очков. Ага, куда мне?
I knew that dynamite wasn't mine,
Спасибо за
so I
динамит.
decided the polite thing would be to return it. It was the biggest gold rush since Sutter's Mill in '48.
Ну, я
Unfortunately,
пытаюсь.
prospectors weren't the only ones drawn to those riches. There were thieves and killers, robbing travelers and hijacking gold shipments. Like those that ran with Plummer. Some were just regular folks I knew from town, drawn by greed and easy pickings. Charlie Crow, blacksmith.
Сомневаюсь, что я попал,
James,
то
who
просто
worked in the stable.
скриптовая тема, но...
Sam and Jeremiah
так думаю.
Barber, the butcher's son. Ordinary citizens who lived a double life. Stealing and thieving and murdering their neighbors. Plummer had a lot of men on his payroll. A hell of a lot. That son of a bitch pretended to protect the public with one hand while
Навряд ли бы я
stealing the
честно по
blind
нему
with the other.
попал. Ходи монету.
Of course, the rest were veterans of the Civil War. Stone-cold killers trained on the bloody fields of Shiloh and Antietam. He set up a defensive perimeter, which I had no idea how to break.
Куча взрывающих все.
Dangerous,
Бочки,
desperate individuals.
даже их не повзрывать.
I was outnumbered and in way over my head, but I was too damn stubborn and stupid to realize it.
Поэтому я
They must have thought I was
взрываю
touched.
бочки.
I thought I was some kind of hero.
Я не могу, это last эпизод.
I finally made it past and headed on to meet my destiny. But first, I had something I needed to figure out. I had a few ideas on how to get into that mine, but once I made my decision, I knew there was no turning back. So my first thought was to enter the nearest mine portal. I saw an entrance. Made sense. It was the quickest way in, but that also made it more dangerous. As there would undoubtedly be enemy pickets posted along the way. Besides, once you enter a mine like that, it's easy to get all turned around.
Что-то так и ничего не понял.
Hey, I'll flank him. Put that moron out of his misery. What are you, yellow?
Ну, в принципе, ну. Я разобрался, кто откуда шмаляет.
And that confusing maze of corridors wouldn't even be the worst of it. Some of those shafts could be as deep as hell. A single stumble or misstep can easily end in a deadly plunge to oblivion.
Ну, как можно
This is
было
why I
упасть
do
и
not like
разбиться?
heights.
Камон. Я упал буквально с 5 метров. Да, я разбил. Не, подожди, с каких? С 5, с 2. Может быть, даже с 1,5.
Quick reflexes often make up for a lack of common sense. Luckily, I was never one to be easily bushwhacked. I would just need to be careful not to blow myself to kingdom come. With all that gunpowder and dynamite everywhere, a body has to know what he's shooting at. All it takes is one tiny spark, and boom.
То, что я сделал, это было гениально.
As a boy, I always loved the 4th of July.
Eddie!
One wrong bullet could have turned that mine into a dad-blasted tomb. I freely admit that my plan of attack was not just moronic, but clearly insane. It's a good thing that I abandoned that ridiculous plan before I even tried it.
Так и надо было.
Instead, I spotted a ladder, a way into the mine from the opposite side. It was a long way around, but that approach seemed more sensible at the time. Of course, being I had a problem with heights, that scaffolding scared the bejesus out of me.
Потихоньку
Climbing down that
спускаемся.
ladder required some caution. Because even though I had a younger man's reflexes, no man can dodge a damn bullet while climbing down a rickety ladder. I needed to make a leap of faith, which ain't easy when you're suspended between heaven and hell.
Я ж не допрыгну тут.
I was determined not to give up, however.
Вон.
As Sheriff Plummer seemed quite the despicable character.
Коли это квестовая штучка,
When the
тогда
vigilantes discovered what the sheriff was up to, people were outraged. That 10,000 they put on his head would go a long way to helping me find old Bob. And I had made it my mission to settle that score come hell or high
Так, знаете,
water.
с револьвером очень удобно
But
бегать.
first, I would have to make a choice.
С двумя.
Take the elevator
Быстро всех
or climb
убивают,
the
да и
ladder.
всё.
I wanted to
Ну,
use the
набегу,
element of
буквально
surprise.
сразу.
Plus, I figured I could use the exercise. I was warmed up already, so what the hell?
Куда бежать-то?
Plummer was a mad dog killer, and the people of Nevada City deserved
Что
better.
это такое?
Right, well, he was the sheriff of both places one time or another, but that's neither here nor there. The point was, taking him down would save a lot of lives, including my own.
Стоять. Гравированный Рейн. Пизда. Нет, походу. Законник. Бандит. Отступник Генри Пламер. Окей, бро, как скажешь.
Henry Plummer was clearly unhinged, and I could see right away that this was going to take some doing.
What do you think you're doing? Run!
Блядь. Что за тупость? Постоянно шкириться от него придется. Если повезет и динамитом слегка ебанет, то... А, парни, разберитесь, мной болит. Парни сейчас со мной разберутся. Чуечка, сучки. Со второй. Со второй.
Blood money for you today.
So that's how Henry Plummer died. Him and his crew were worth their weight in gold. And now, I was officially a bounty hunter.
So, did you finally go after that Bob feller?
Well, I heard word he was in Kansas with John Wesley Harding. So that's where I went.
Where in Kansas?
Abilene. Why do you ask, Ben?
No reason.
Was Hardin as fast as Ringo?
Ringo was fast, but John Wesley was as fast as the devil himself.
Заканчивается. Все равно никто не смотрит. Но игра крутая.
Hell, he killed his first man at 15. From that day forward, he had a price on his head and wouldn't back down for nobody, not even Wild Bill Hickok himself.
Быстрый или мертвый? Называется глава. Точнее, эпизод. Навыков не хватает немного. Там осталось 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 и тут 12. 28 уровней осталось всего лишь.
I dodged death many a time, and that night in Abilene was no different.
Самородки истины какие-то карточки. Все, ребят, спасибо за просмотр, спасибо то, что присутствовали на стриме, спасибо за лайки. Увидимся на следующих стримах. Всем удачи и всем пока.